got to say, the people in Seoul, they got soul, they got spirit, you know. I just came from Tokyo, and everybody was very, you know, and here people are hanging out, doing things. Last night I watched them dance. I saw a big art show. It was a lot of fun. So I'm very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to some really good stuff. Hopefully our computers will work, and we'll have a good time. Now look, it's not working right now. I don't know. If there's something I'm going to click. Who knows what will happen? Okay, so first of all, we have a lot to do. And we have to cover a lot of territory to try to understand what is happening with the diamond industry. Now, I've done now 40 years of the Rapaport price list. That's a long time. I never realized I was actually so old. But I've never seen this kind of a complicated situation. Things are happening on the side of the rough diamonds, all the way with De Beers going into synthetics. Things are happening with the demand side. China up, China down, every day a new trade war. Are these guys going to be buying diamonds in China? Because the price of the diamonds in Korea is based on the price of what's going on in China. So we have a lot of crazy things going on. And then, God help us, we've got the internet. Who needs you guys? I mean, you're in Korea, fine. But if you were in the United States, Amazon would be wiping the floor with you. So where are we? What's happening? Change in the supply, change in the demand, change inside the business. And I have to try to explain this to you in about an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half. So we'll go step by step. I'm okay here, translators? Not too fast? Okay? All right, so let's not get too afraid, and let's just move right into it. First of all, what do you do with disruption? You know, disruption used to be a dirty word. Oh, he's disrupting the market. Today, if you're disrupting, you're a hero. You're great. You're like the guy from Facebook or the guy from, what's his name, Musk, funny guy Musk. He's a real funny guy, Musk. I mean, not many people can get away with smoking marijuana on television, okay? But this guy is out there. President Trump, not exactly the most stable, normal situation. So now when we look at all this disruption, whether it's disruption in Washington or disruption in Facebook or disruption anywhere else, what can we do to hold on so that our businesses can survive a very disruptive world? How do we do that? And my answer is values. If you are just doing business to make money, you're not going to survive. Too much new stuff is coming. But if you have values and you have something you believe in, which is more important than disruption, you will succeed. Our values at Rapaport are ethical. So if the Congo government comes to me and says you can make $500,000 a month selling our goods, I say, not interested, not home, not interested to me. You define who you are and what your brand is by what you don't do, not just by what you do. So if you can focus yourself on adding value and say no to various opportunities to make money, you will be a better company, you will be a better person. You'll be proud. You'll be able to tell your children, I'm in the diamond business and I'm proud of it. So we have to transcend money and think about ethical. Now, we're businesses in transparency, okay? I make money by being transparent, publishing prices, listing diamonds on RapNet, doing all these things that upset other people because, you know, transparency comes at the cost of profits. Some people would say we're better off without the GIA. Why does everybody have to have a certificate? They don't know diamonds, but they go online and say FVVS2, this is the price. Maybe not so much in Korea, but in the United States, Blue Nile, James Allen, you don't even need Rapaport anymore. So you see price information transparency, availability. Who knew the difference between an FVS1 and an HSI2 30 years ago? But now everybody has so much transparency, they're able to compete. And competition doesn't mean you're going to make more money. unless you listen carefully to my lecture today. Okay? So transparency and competition work together to change the markets. And actually, they create something called fair market value. An auction. Everyone looks at the goods. A painting. And then they see the results of the auction. Everybody knows the price. If you want to know the price of very exquisite jewelry, a 30-carat or a vivid pink diamond, go to Christie's and Sotheby's. Watch what's actually happening. So when you get transparency and competition together, you're driving price information and you're creating a fair value market. With the emphasis on fair, that means people have confidence. So we're struggling with this changing world, internet transparency, and profits. And we have to figure out what's the game plan. How do we survive? And I don't care if you're the biggest guy in Geneva at the auction, if you're De Beers itself. Oh, wow, there went, okay. I guess I can dance, so you don't have to scream. All right, well, what's going to happen here? We're going to have fun. Okay, the hell with the computers. So we have to think a little bit. How are we going to survive in this changing world where disruption is the norm? The only thing consistent is change, and very violent change. So how do we make money? How do we make salary? Where do we go? What do we do? And so it's not just a Korean problem. It's a problem for everyone. And even technology. We look at it. We try to understand it. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'll continue without the slides for a minute because I sort of remember this, hopefully. So now let's think for a minute. So what does Rapaport do? I'd like you to understand my business a little because that way you can think about, okay, if he's doing this, what should I be doing? The Rapaport business is basically four things. One of them is transparency, price information, research, analysis. We spend money trying to understand the diamond market for no other reason than to understand it and publish information about it. So we're in the research business. The second thing we do is RapNet, which is electronic trading. Now, we don't own any diamonds. I mean, we get stuck with them occasionally, but we don't own them, really. It's not our business. So we make the market where all the factories and all the people put their diamonds into this computer system, and then people can find them. We actually list for sale every day about $7.5 billion of diamonds. That's about 1.3 million actual individual stones. A lot of diamonds. We spend about $5 million a year just on IT, just on computer people. That's a pain in the ass, these computers, as you can. Well, here we go. So that's the second thing. The third thing we do is we work with the GIA. Here we go. We work with the GIA. We never relax there. All right. Well, who knows what I'll try it this way. All right, my good friends. Here we go. We work with the GIA, and we have our own laboratories, and we grade diamonds. Like great opportunity. Grade diamonds in Surat, India. So people can source direct from a guy in India who doesn't speak English. He speaks Gujarati. Get a Korean guy to buy from a guy in Surat, India. Neither of them speak English. You know, I say, great, if I can do that, I'm cool. I'm adding value. And then the last thing is we run trading auctions. And trading auctions is an interesting business because, you see, diamonds are forever. But people are not forever. So one of the biggest businesses in America, not business, the most profitable business in America are from people who are getting older, and they sell their jewelry. You see, after World War II in America, people had a lot of babies. They came home from the war, they had babies, called the baby boomers. I'm 66. I was born in 1952. From 48 to like 54, there were millions of Americans. So if you look at the age of Americans, you see this bump called baby boomers. These guys are going to be 70, 80 years old, and they're going to be selling lots of jewelry. I figure if we go back to in the $2,000 values, I figure you got something like 30 years, about $220 billion, not million, $billion of jewelry, diamond jewelry coming back into the market. And even if half of them is going to be heirlooms or heritage pieces, you still got something like, I don't know, $100 billion. So that's enough business for me. You know, if I can recycle the diamonds and create a fair value market with auctions, it's a great business. As a matter of fact, in Korea, you have a big tax here on the importation of diamonds. So once a diamond is in Korea, it's great. You should buy, if someone wants to sell diamond locally from the consumer, you support the market because people know they can sell it and you don't have to pay the tax. So there's a lot of ways in which you can utilize this idea of local diamonds and local business. And I'll tell you one thing I'll teach you, which they taught me in Harvard, which is the price of something is based on the willingness to pay. Not what you think the price is, not what De Beers thinks the price is, the willingness to pay. So I was talking to someone last night, and I said, well, I sold this thing, and I sold it for, I don't know, $100,000, $50,000, and I said, that's what it's worth. I said, tell me something. If the customer you sold it to said to you, buy it back, what would you do? What's it really worth? If you want to find out what something is worth, just try to sell it. And that'll give you the truth about its real value. And consumers aren't stupid, especially rich ones that buy bigger diamonds. So they want to know what the price of something is. It's the price that you can sell it at. But I'm talking a little too much about this. Let's dig into our presentation a little more. We began in 1978, so I'm 40 years. Change, challenge, and opportunities. We've been bounced around like a ping pong ball. 230 employees, team members, 20,000 clients, 121 countries. And we're in New York, Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a great market, by the way. Ramat Gan, Jerusalem, where I live. Antwerp, again Ramat Gan. Mumbai, Surat, Dubai, and Hong Kong. So we're like, not everywhere, but we're in a lot of the important markets. So what's our secret to success? First of all, we stay to our values. We say no. If it isn't transparent, if it isn't competitive, if it isn't ethical, I'm not interested. Let someone else make money. I don't have to do everything. We create and support sustainable markets. We create markets. Markets for recycled jewelry. Markets for GIA stones and RapNet, okay? We create markets. Now, we embrace disruption. Change the technology. If you tell me something's changing, I say, great, now I can make some more money. So instead of holding back the waves, I surf them. I go with the flow, man. I have a good time. I'm not afraid of change. I don't hold on. We focus on the ideas behind the products. Look, I got news for you guys. You're not selling diamonds. Anybody who really understands this business and understands their customers, and maybe jewelers more than the wholesalers, we don't sell diamonds. We sell the idea behind the diamond. A young woman gets an engagement ring. She's so happy. Not because she just got a ring, because she got a guy. She got a man. The relationship, the commitment. When a guy gives a girl a diamond, or a girl gives a girl, or a guy gives a guy, strange world today, but it's like a commitment. Now that is very valuable. That's very important. So the diamond is a symbol of a relationship. So what we're really selling to the couple is this idea that he's going to give her something, and she's going to be so happy. Now, that's it. That's the game, man. It's the experience, okay? So we need to transcend the product. Focus on the idea. Transcend profits and products. Don't worry about your profits. Don't worry about your diamonds. Worry about one thing mostly, your customer. Customer, customer, customer. If you have customers, you're going to make a living. If you don't have customers, you're going to get screwed by all these Indians coming here, or all these Jews coming here, or the business changing, competition, transparency. The customer has got to be the center of your existence. Because that's what we're all in the business today, with all this disruption and internet. It's all about the customer. Customer centricity. I mean, that's a big thing today. Everybody says it, but do they really think it? Okay? Think about it. What is customer centricity? I'll give you an example I just got in a Harvard discussion we had. Apple has, what's it called? Apple's got the App Store. If Apple said, I only put the apps up, only apps driven by Apple, like Jobs initially went, they wouldn't be so strong. But since everybody can write an app, so everybody is an Apple supplier making the Apple good, they made more money for their little device here. But they could try to control the world, but they don't. They're thinking about what the customer wants, not what Apple wants, so then they make more money for the iPhone. If there was no App Store, the iPhone would be worth a lot less money. That's an example of customer centricity. I'm in business to give a product that makes my customers happy. We'll talk about more as we move along over here. Now, target marketing. You got to segment your markets. If you're selling, who are you selling? What are you selling? If you don't know, not good. Think about who you want to sell. And Faith, I'll talk to you about a little high-level strategy of Jim Collins' 3 circles. Okay? And I'll do that in 2 minutes, and then we'll get into the real diamond story more. So there's a story about, hey, one day this will work. Ooh, oh, it's going the wrong way. There you go. So there's a story about King Solomon. I don't think there are that many Jewish people in the audience, but King Solomon was a Jewish king who lived about 2,800 years ago. And it's in the Bible, interesting stories. And he's on the road off to Jerusalem. And on the road to Jerusalem, he sees Target with the arrow right in the middle. And another one, and another one, and another one. And he says, I want that archer, Get him, and I want him to teach my soldiers how to shoot arrows really well. And the Talmud tells the story that he brought a 10-year-old kid from Jerusalem. He was the guy doing this stuff. He said, how do you do this? He says, very simple. First I shoot the arrow, then I draw the circles. That's target marketing. That's customer centricity. Who are your customers? Segment them out. Are they older people who are having their 20th or 10th wedding anniversary? Are they millennials, young people buying their first engagement ring? Are they women buying something for fashion? Are they fancy colored diamonds? Wow, it's getting worse, yeah? It's okay. Who are these people? Then draw your circles. Identify your customer, understand what your customer needs or wants, or he doesn't even know what he wants, but you know what he needs, and then give it to them, and you will be successful. They once asked Steve Jobs, they said, Steve Jobs, can you predict the future? He said, sure, I can predict the future. They said, how? He says, I make the future. Don't be put off. Oh, she's saying slower, yeah. Too fast, guys? Slow? How are we doing there? Too fast? Slow. I'm going to slow down. I'm excited about this stuff. So far, you guys understand me? So far? All right? Anybody doesn't understand me, raise your hand. Yeah, you're shy. So, you make the future. Don't be afraid. Be different. Be creative. Have fun. Business should be fun. If you're looking at your watch every day, if you're worried every day, get out of the business. Go into real estate. That's where you can make real money, okay? But do something different. But have fun. Because fun is contagious. I have fun. I work way too hard, though. But I am having fun. Okay, so now, this Target story is very important because it tells you you can succeed if you identify what you want to do, who your customer is, and then you curate to the customer. You get the customer that you defined, the right product, at the right time, in the right way, the right price. So the price doesn't really matter. I'll tell you the secret. Guys that buy diamonds, they know they're screwed. I mean, they know they're going to pay more than they understand. So it's not about the price. They talk about the price, but it's not really the price. If you want to succeed and you want to get rich, deal with the customer and what the customer wants. Don't worry about the price so much. Now, let's go a little further over here. Let's see. This starts to work, so I think we're okay. Now, the 3 circles, okay? Whoa. So what do? Where should you position yourself strategically? First of all, ask yourself, what can you be the best in the world at? And I don't want to confuse you. The best in Seoul for fashion jewelry for 16-year-old girls. That's also the best in the world. Don't be the best in the whole world. So I try to be the best in diamond prices for the whole world. Hey, it's difficult, okay? But you don't have to do that. You can segment your market and say, I'm going after this specific thing, and then be the best in the world at that. Better than everybody. So find out something that you can be the best at. Next thing is, find out what you're passionate about, what you like doing, what you enjoy. And some people think, oh, I'm really passionate about writing, but they're lousy writers. I want to have a rock band, but they can't, lousy musicians. So you need to be passionate about something that you have the ability to do. Be passionate and able. And the third thing is you got to make money. Because some people, they're passionate about being poets. They write great poetry, but no one buys their poetry, and they're starving to death. Not a good idea. So for some idea of yours to be sustainable, it has to be profitable. When you get those 3 things figured out, put them together. And go to the mixed point where you're the passionate, you got the best in the world, and you're profitable, and that's where you go. That's where your business goes. That's where you go. That's the solution in terms of where should I push myself strategically. Most people have a strategic problem. Because even if you're very capable, without the right strategy, you're a ship on dry land. And with the right strategy, if you can't execute it, you're also a ship on dry land. So the name of the game is to have the right ideas, but remember, an idea is only as good as its execution. An idea is only as good as your ability to make it really happen. Sometimes we have great ideas, like me, and I just can't do it. It's just too much. So focus. Focus. It's all about being focused. And I'll tell you this for Korea and Koreans, what I know so far, very focused people. Precise, exact. I went to the department store Latte today. Nice jewelry. I didn't go to the one across the street. What's the one across the street where Tiffany is and what? What's it? Sunday. I didn't go there. That's where you have Graf or you have Tiffany. I didn't go. I went to the Korean brands to see what are the Koreans doing. Little. I understand because of taxes. Precise. Petite. Nice. So in any case, that's all good. So you guys can be focused. There's no reason to think that you guys are not capable of doing all these things. And I'm just giving you some good advice here, okay? So let's look at the dime. So first of all, am I okay over there, translators? We're all right? Yeah, we're okay? Yeah. Are we all right, everybody, so far? All right. Now we'll talk about the diamond business a little bit. Look. There's $65 billion that we can play around with. Coming out of the ground is $16.6 billion, and that's for the mining companies. And now you got 22.3. This is the polishing. They make $5.7 billion. I don't worry about this so much. I don't know if this little pointer works here. Yeah, it does. See this? This is what it's all about. This stuff here is just, total numbers. But $5.7 billion is sitting on the table for the people that are polishing the diamonds, sorting the diamonds, maybe also working with the rough. $30.2 billion are for the people who are manufacturing. Got a lot of money. And $56.1 billion for the people who are doing retail. And retail's expensive. Got to pay the rent, got to pay the salesman, got to pay the electricity.
It's not all profits. A lot of people are running over to these things. They think they can make a lot of money, but this is not necessarily profits. Tiffany is at about 7% net profits when everything is paid. And Blue Nile is maybe much less, but we'll talk about that. So anyways, we're all chasing $65 billion. This one's trying to take from that one. The mining companies are trying to take more. Everybody is competing with everybody. And the real challenge for the industry is to grow the pie. Instead of fighting over the pizza piece, get a bigger pizza. That would be nice. But to do that, we have to do marketing. We have to do a lot of things to make our business better. But anyways, this is an overview picture. Think about $65 billion and how much of that you can get. Now, diamonds come from very narrow places. So if we looked at the Kimberley process data, which isn't exactly correct, there's an extra 3-4 billion floating around, but you're talking about $14 billion, maybe 15 billion or 16 billion. But it's coming from 6 countries, really. 92% of the world's diamonds, 6 countries. Now that's cute, but here's the worst part. It's coming from 7 countries, 85% of the diamonds. 7 phone numbers, 7 CEOs. And these guys are nice people who are squeezing the money out of this industry. Because if you only have 7 suppliers for an industry which is at about 80 billion when you go to the retail, okay? Holy cannoli. It's pretty tight. They have the upper hand. Now, what do they call the guys here in Korea? What are the top companies here? What do they call them? The Knobuls? There's a name for these. The what? The what? Tebar? So, you got the diamond Tebar or something, you know? Okay. So, this is an issue. Because let me tell you what happens. Well, if this thing works. Deep. There, you see? See, the guys don't like to look at it in Excel. Some people are visual, by the way. I like to play with Excel. But a lot of people, they got to see pictures, right? There's Alrosa and De Beers at about 67% of the diamonds, 2 companies. They lead the way. They're price leaders, okay? Yeah, Gem Diamonds deals with the bigger stuff. There's some other stuff going on, but let me see how I'm doing. Oh, I better move ahead here, okay? So, here's the story that is so weird, and it's a little complicated, but don't get afraid, okay? The orange thing here is how much money we get. So they've been getting a lot more money up here. In this period here, see all that money? Money. They're getting like $14 billion, these mining companies, all right? But the supply of goods was flat. This goes up, this goes flat. So what happens when I sell you the same amount of diamonds, and this is at about, I guess 140, I'm talking about this period from here to here, right? 130 million carats of diamonds, and I'm up here and I increase the price to 170. I'm selling you 10 apples for $10. Now I'm charging you $20 for the same 10 apples. That means the price goes up. So we've had a period over here of very increases of prices because the quantity sold was the same and the price went up. Scary stuff. And this is what it means in a more normal way. Prices went up, a little down, and this is after 2008 catastrophe. Yikes! Now, they've come down now because we can't live in this world so much where the rough prices are so high. You know, I wrote this whole article around here about how they had to get rid of the CEO of De Beers, a whole story about that. Oh, by the way, am I recording this? Did you get me my tape recorders, Rivka? Eesh. 1 second, everybody. I just got to make sure that when I talk about people, if I don't record it, I have to at least, my company says to me, Rapaport, we have to know what you're saying. So then we have to apologize to everybody for what we said. All right, I am hopeful that this will work properly. I'm sorry I didn't do it earlier. All right, so this is Martin Rapaport in Seoul on the 17th. Okay, so now here's the diamond prices of rough. And rough is the foundation that we all stand on. So actually, you know, prices came, you could see over here, you know, you got this uppity thing over here. They started to increase the supply, and They increased a little bit here, but this to this and this to this is the price change. This is the price difference between rough and polished. And let me show you what it really looks like here, okay? This is the real story. This gray line over here are rough prices. See? This is the rough index, the Rapaport rough index. Watching those rough prices. And this here is the polished prices. Rough went up, stayed up, polished went down. Down, down. It's scary. This is 1 carat, D to H, IF to VS2s. Better quality, 1 carat. Top 5 colors, top 5 clarities of 1 carat diamonds. Look, they went down from, see if this is working here? Yeah. They went down from, like, what is it, $12,000 a carat? Under 6 from the peak. We lost 50% of the price value. Oh, I want to invest in diamonds. You got to be crazy. Why would you invest in something that went down 50%? Maybe it's going to go up again, and I'll talk about that. But, you know, this is a very sad story for the diamond industry, this here. Creates a lot of pressure. Lots of guys, the rough is high, polished is low. How are you going to make a living? So it may not be your fault in Korea, where you got a nice little store or whatever you got. But if you're a diamond manufacturer, say in Israel, India, or New York, boy, you know, you're constantly being squeezed. So this is a major problem in the diamond industry. And it hasn't gotten much better since 2011. It's starting to correct now. Okay, it's starting to correct. I don't know, let's see. Yeah, you see that? It's going back up over here. But it's a big problem. So, if we're going to talk about the diamond industry, we're going to talk about the supply side, we're going to talk about a lot of pressure. So, the imbalance between rough and polished prices is a serious problem. Rough is pushing polished. So the rough guys say, you polished guy, you bought that rough? Kill yourself. Raise the price of the polished. I'm squeezing you, pushing you, pushing you. And so everybody in the polished business is trying to get more money. They're creating brands. They're jumping around like chickens without a head. They're trying to do what they can. Lots of pressure. Why are rough prices so high? And I can't talk about this too much. Last time I talked about it, they threw me out of the Indian bourse. But money laundering and irresponsible financing. Now, money laundering is a very funny thing given 2011, given the banking regulatory environment. So, you know, if you think about it, once upon a time, there was a lot of demand for diamonds because people had a lot of cash. They still have a lot of cash maybe, but it's not like it used to be. And you can't really handle that cash. So there's a real problem with money laundering. I can't go beyond it, but I can say to you, irresponsible financing. So, you know, companies get billions of dollars of credit. You know, guy gets into a taxi, and he says, drive me here. Taxi drives him there. He says, you know what? Take my wife over there. Takes his wife over there. The wife says, you know what? Take my daughter over here. The taxi guy's never going to get paid. They're just going to keep going with the taxi. When people borrow money from the banks, some of these diamond manufacturers, they have no intention of giving the money back. They need to just keep going. Which means they need to keep the business manufacturing diamonds. Which means when they pay a high price for rough, even if they're losing money, they need to keep the factory going to keep their credit. It's a crazy story. It's beyond the scope of this presentation. I can only tell you there's things that are going on here that are not really so kosher or healthy. But now let's look deeper. What does it mean when there's less profitability? There's less marketing. Who is the most successful jewelry business in the world? Who can tell me? Somebody guess. Most successful jewelry business. Somebody's got to speak, or I'm not going to go forward. I'm just going to stand here. Tiffany, good thinking, but you're wrong. Most successful jewelry business. Think out of the box. You're close, but no cigar. Close. Who is the biggest, the best? I would say the biggest, the best. Making the most money. What? Who? Costco. They have Costco here? Not really. Not in the jewelry business. They sell cars, they sell things. They're good, but they're not as big as... This place is like Starbucks. Wherever you go, you see them. Hey, who said that? Raise your hand. All right, you're good. I like you, okay? You didn't hear me tell you that before, huh? Gotta watch these Koreans. Anyways, Swarovski. They take something worth 10 cents and they sell it for $20. They have the profits that they can open up their stores everywhere. So marketing is a function of profits. Pure, beloved profits. So if you're not making huge markups, you can't market as well. So the diamond industry, when it's squeezed in profits, suffers because we're not doing enough to sell diamonds to the next generation. Is she going to buy a diamond or is she going to buy a pocket, Prada bag or something? So we need to think about that, and that's a big challenge for us. And we need to think about profits, and that's why we shouldn't be in these businesses because our daddies were in it. We should be seriously thinking about what can we do to make serious money. Now, this was the price, what I showed you before. This was the graph of diamond prices. And it starts over here in 2008, and you got this little bumpiness, see? And you got the bumpiness here. Who could tell me why the prices went up? Why did they go up here? What happened? Anybody know? What? Well, prices went up. They don't go up in a recession. That's why they went down maybe, but why did they go up? Think geographics. I'll give you a little hint. Here's a hint. So what happened? China happened. Millions, hundreds of millions of people said, I want a diamond, I want a diamond. Okay? And when they first came into the business, I'll eventually figure this one out, okay? When they first went into the business, they got you this nice little bump here. But then when they really got into the business, you got this one. Then China went down. Okay? I'm not even talking 2008 here. It's a Chinese story. So we're living in a world where foreign demand, foreign demographics, foreign things that are beyond our control. We don't control Chinese GNP. We don't control what's happening in China. And we certainly don't control trade wars between President Trump and President Xi. So these external things are happening, and these external things like tsunamis are having a big impact on our industry. Economic tsunamis. And it's part of the game. It's happening all the time. And we have to understand that sometimes diamond prices and diamond markets move because of external forces. Okay? Now, let's see. So the truth about globalization, it's not a one-way deal. This is Harvard Business Review. It's not me. Okay? So the balloon, bing. The only thing consistent is change. Now, I'm not afraid to surf and dance with China. I'm not even afraid to make money when China goes down. If you know that these things are happening, you can think about what it means. So is this an opportunity for you to buy? If you have customers, maybe. It's all about the customers, remember that. Okay. Now, the other thing is the dollar. Foreign currency rates, they're like, whammo. They affect diamond prices like right away. India is down because of the rupee. All-time high, 72. The renminbi in China. So when you start looking at this mighty dollar, and the mighty dollar is the diamond dollar because diamonds are traded for dollars, you got to be thinking, well, where's the dollar? What does that mean for diamond prices? So you can be sitting here, minding your own business, having a lovely store, good designers, nice showcase in the latte or wherever your showcase is, and all of a sudden you got problems because the price of the diamonds went up because the dollar went up or something. So you need to understand that these changes, these disruptions are happening all the time. You need to get used to them, and you need to expect them. anticipate these kinds of changes. Not easy, but it is manageable. All right. Bingo. So, I showed you before diamond prices moving. It wasn't just 1 carat. It's a lot of stuff, but not everything. These are melee prices. These are melee prices in relationship to certified goods. Now, melee is very important here in Korea. Melee held up a lot better than the certificate goods. And I showed you that the 30-pointers are pretty much the same as this blue line. I'm sorry, the orange line, okay? So melee is another market. So if one market's not doing so good, go into the other market. I think India is blessed because you have such a big melee business and you design pieces with lots of melee. And, you know, look around for opportunities that make your customers happy. Okay? So not everything is the same. And there's riches in the niches. Fancy colored diamonds, doing great. So, you know, you can't think about the diamond industry as one monolithic industry. Lots of markets. China and you guys with your 30-pointers. You know, New York with their caraters or 2 caraters. Okay? A lot of different markets, a lot of different kinds of goods, a lot of opportunity. If and only if you have the customers. So if you're customer-centric, try to pick customers that have money. See, it's a good idea to sell diamonds to people who are rich. Good idea. Try to sell it, not have to be rich, at least they have to have money. Okay. So, the demand side. Globalization brings volatility. It brings opportunity, but you can't rely on China to be every day, although the general trend will be up. It's like if you buy stocks. You know, the stock market's going to go up. United States stock market, the S&P 500 dropped, I don't know, we were at 290, we went to 270. It dropped about 8%, 7% in the last 2 weeks. Bounced back up 2% yesterday. I got a lot of those stocks. I don't care. Long term, I'm going to be fine. China will be great long term. We will have, I think the estimate is a billion new middle-class consumers by 2030. I figure about 50 to 100 million new middle-class diamond consumers. Maybe for 30-pointers, not for 3-caraters. But if you got a lot of 30-pointer buyers, you get a lot of 3-carat buyers. There's never been so many millionaires, never been so many billionaires. So diamonds have a good outlook. We're not in a bad business if we can figure out how to make money. So, globalization is volatile, but it's good. GDP, stock market wealth effect. Now, that's very important. Watch the stock market. The reason America is so strong today is because the stock market's so strong. Because who's got money in the stock market? Rich people. And the rich get richer when the stock market goes up. They feel richer. They're going to buy jewelry. The stock market is down, 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 down. I don't know. Take a vacation. Close your store. Don't kill yourself. Stock market's up, up, up. Figure out how am I going to get those rich guys to buy more diamonds from me. United States is a very important market. Stock market's up, up, up. And I'm telling you, we're making money. So the stock market wealth effect, even if the guy didn't sell his stocks, he feels richer. If someone feels richer, the wife goes, show me, show me. You know, he comes home, we made so much, we did so much, and the wife says, show me, show me. So there's this real idea that you want to make sure that you go on. Currency rates, I just showed you the story about currency rates. And macroeconomic forces. That sounds like a big name. I'm talking about interest rates and inflation rates. Other things too, but let's keep to interest rates and inflation rates. Everybody should understand, for the last 20 years, interest rates have been very low. I mean, really low. I mean like low. And, you know, it's sort of like financial Prozac. You know what Prozac is? Prozac is a drug that makes people feel nice. It's a little bit like marijuana, okay? People feel fine, business is fine, interest rates are low. Now, the reason the stock market, by the way, fell in the United States so much because interest rates started to wake up. When you get interest rates going up and you get inflation, the diamond market goes crazy. Here, let me show you crazy. This is crazy. I lived during this. I quoted these prices, 5,000, 20,000. 1 carat D flawless, I sold for $66,000. 1 carat. It was wild. There were lines of people at the GIA 5 o'clock in the morning. They had prayer meetings while they were waiting for the GIA to open. They paid people $100 to stand online for them. And then, whoa, baby, this is when they threw me out of the New York Diamond Club because I was publishing prices. Okay? It went down because interest rates in the United States went to 24%. 24%? Who's going to own diamonds? Talk about investment in diamonds. So here everybody was investing in diamonds. But here everybody was running like hell, and the banks were taking over the goods. If you imagine what it's like to have 24% interest and to fund your inventory, it's a disaster. So I don't know that that's going to happen again. But I don't know that it's not going to happen again. We're dealing with President Trump, we're dealing with a trade war with China, and we're dealing with the possibility of a new inflationary cycle eventually happening. So I don't think so. I mean, this is all the way in 1982. Here, we're all the way in 2018, 40 years. But once every 40 years, stuff happens. So I don't know. I'm just pointing out to you, be aware of the fact that macroeconomic forces, interest rates and inflation, have an impact. And so think about, if you start seeing interest rates going up, be careful. How are you funding your inventory? Get out of the way. It's like a bus coming to run you over. Be careful, okay? But then think about what might happen to diamond prices. Also, don't hang around, when things go up here and you can make a fortune, no tree grows to the heaven. So when you see things happening, no tree grows to the heaven. So when you're making a lot of money, things are going good, cash out. Put a little bit on the side. Always remember to put some money on the side. Okay. So, hang on, back up here. Let's see. This is the story about macro. Here I want to show you, this is the Rapaport price list, which everybody loves to use. And it's higher than the Rappi prices. And that's because people like to use our prices because the prices are more stable. We don't jump up and down so fast. These are the discounts here. I generally run now, depending on the market condition, between 25 and 35 below, sometimes 40 below. If it's an item with very little liquidity, like a D flawless, you might even get to 45 below, 50 below. But this is the discount level here, generally reflected. Okay. Transparency, right? Okay. Now, the diamond trade itself, and I don't know, I was going to take India out of the slide. You should ignore India here pretty much. USA, 8 billion, 10 million. China and Hong Kong, 9 billion. If we figure that the market is basically around $25, $26 billion at wholesale prices, America and China, man, here they are. What do you got here? You got about 20 billion roughly. A little bit less, 18 billion out of 25 billion. This is the market. This is what is making things happen. So you watch America and you watch China like I do, you get most of the story. Now, if oil prices go over 100, 120, maybe there'll be some Arab action. Europe is dead. Europe is just not happening. As we'd say in Harvard, that dog don't hunt. That thing don't move. So, Korea's interesting. Little baby, but okay, there's still things happening here. And if you learn and you do the kind of stuff that you got me to come out here, but in any case, if you look at this, watch, these are the guys you got to watch. Okay. Now we're going to have some fun. I'm going to, boop. Okay. This is the United States. We just showed you that. Now, jewelry. So we talked to you about rough. We talked to you about polished, right? America, China. Look at the jewelry picture, though. The U.S. is 43 billion. We got 82 billion. 52% of jewelry is in the United States. This is what it looks like. Look at that big green bubble there. And the rest of the world's 18, which is good. China's only 10. So there's business here. Riches in the niches. From my perspective, Korea's a niche. Taiwan's a niche. Okay, there's niches out here. And these niches make money. Russia's a niche. Dubai's a niche. A lot of niches. So, when we look at the world here, we see this U.S. business, though. So U.S. goes south, diamond industry goes south. U.S. stays strong, diamond industry stays strong. Because even if China dances a little bit much more, they're only 12% against 52. So, you know, this is the picture of where the diamond jewelry is going. Okay? We're coming towards a little bit the end. So, first of all, how are we doing so far? Boring? You guys okay? Following all these numbers and all this stuff, you know? I didn't try to kill you with too many numbers, but hopefully you understand what's going on. Okay. Besides the fact that rough prices are too high and there's this whole rough business, and besides the fact that demand is weird because of the volatility and the China in and China out and all that stuff, there's internal things happening. Things happening within the diamond business that you're not in control over, but one of them is this internet disruption. Now, internet disruption is a big deal, baby. It's affecting everything. I mean, it's a whole new world. So when you source diamonds on RapNet or somewhere else, or you just have a supplier that sends you an email with a list of diamonds, that's changing how we source. You don't have to go to India or to New York or to Israel. You just get the internet thingy, see what the 30 pointers are selling for, call the guy up, tell him to ship you the goods, and you're done. So this internet, this communication has changed how we source products. By the way, not just us. All the consumers. Not just diamonds. Buy an airplane ticket. Buy a computer. Buy an Android phone. Buy anything. Buy a hotel room. Everything is now being sourced by the internet. Not necessarily closing the deal, but there's, I think, 90% of anybody who buys a diamond, jewelry, a ring, whatever, they're looking at the internet to see it. And it's going to jewelry too, not just loose diamonds. And the distribution has changed. You can absolutely, you could sit in your house and you can shop and they're going to deliver the thing to you. Diamonds, food, whatever you want. That's an issue. Synthetic diamonds we'll talk about. Demographics. Young people, how do they relate to diamonds? And social responsibility. Those are the things we're going to cover in the next few minutes to kind of finish off this presentation, okay? So let's look at, not yet. Let's look at the disruption of the internet, right? Think about it. If there were no GIA grading reports, what would happen? Could we use the internet to source if there was no Rapaport prices, if there was no RapNet? Probably not. But these are all things that were created, opportunities that we're utilizing the internet. So I get up in the morning and say, hey, what's happening, man? How can we use new technology? So that's cool. And so it's not just how you source. It's how you distribute and really how you market. I'm saying to you, without the internet, you're screwed. You're toast. No good. You've got to play the internet game to the maximum, especially with the next generation of consumers, because I'm telling you, I'm attached to my iPhone, but young people or younger people, oh, here it is, okay? I mean, like, forget it. This is it. This is like their arm. I think in the next generation, they're going to implant this in your brain, okay? But that's it. Without this, you're lost. Any of you leave your... One day you left your iPhone and, you must probably feel terrible. You go, I don't know. So you need to use that. Use this thing. Okay? If you don't use this thing, not good. Now I'm going to teach you a little bit about, I'll show you how the internet is being used in America. And then I'll explain a little more. So let's see. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't work. I'll do a little prayer over here. So my good buddies in the booths over there, make it loud.
Engagement rings are a danger. Tread carefully.
I think it would be fun to put him to the test and see, like, you better know, just to see what he comes up with.
I got this. I have high hope.
Let me stop for a second to explain what's going on. My wife told me people didn't understand this. This is a company that sells diamonds on the internet. They recognize that young people are interested in three things: the experience of shopping, customization, being able to make something that they made, whether it's growing their own organic hula hoops or whatever. And then, of course, great customer service. So this company looked at the world and said, how can we use the internet to create a tremendous experience for shoppers? So they went and they took 4 couples, and they said, okay, you couples, we want you to design your ring online. Don't tell each other what you're designing. So the guy picks a design, the girl picks a design. And then they show each other what the design is. And they go, wow, and hoo ha ha. And it's an experience playing around with the internet. He picked it, he didn't tell her. She picked it, she didn't tell him. And then they compare. That's what this video is about. This video is about using the internet to create a shopping experience for young people that is even maybe better than the shopping experience they would have in your store. Okay, so that's a little background, okay? So what happened was they got these couples, they're very nervous about getting a ring, okay? And they're talking about this stuff. So I'll hopefully...
about this. I think I'm gonna rock your world, babe.
All right.
Design your own engagement ring. Start with the setting.
It is very important to me that he gets this right because it's something that I have to wear for the rest of my life.
He's really confident about like everything, so he's gonna be like, I nailed it.
Go big or go home, right? The yellow gold, 18. Now, I'm gonna assume that's 18 carats.
Probably thinks I'm gonna choose like a 5-carat crazy diamond thing.
Engagement rings are like 5-year salary, right?
Something that feels like it is a little bit vintage looking would be awesome.
I have to be confident in my choice. I told her I was gonna rock her world.
Add your diamond to a ring. Choose a setting. Obviously, we're doing yellow gold.
Choose a diamond. What is all this? That looks like an algebraic equation.
All right, I'm just gonna look at this one close up one more time. Oh, you can see what it looks like on someone's hand.
It's my final design.
Round, 0.76 carats.
Cushion outline pave engagement ring.
I'd say yes to that.
I'm ready.
1, 2.
Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, okay, all right.
They're not that different.
No.
So I picked a vintage set.
I like vintage too. Wow.
But what made you want to give me that, to do that ring like that?
That right there.
Oh, it's a ring. Like it looks like a crown and like
You're a princess.
Oh, thanks.
How much is that?
No.
Hey, how's yours? Wait.
Wow, yours is way more expensive than the one I chose.
She held back. Stop looking at the price and the diamond. Look
I'm
at
not
the
even looking at
band.
the price, actually. The price is not really a big deal to me, to be honest.
look at the band.
I'm just surprised that I was that.
Look at
You are not serious. Baby,
That's what I picked out.
no, that's a joke.
That is all the way something I did not predict. It's nice. You're definitely worth it. If she likes it, if she wants it, then she gets it. She knows that. She's the queen. That's the way it's always been.
All righty, so think about this. What's going on here? Well, how are we using the internet for these couples? What's the experience like? Are they having fun? Is it exciting? Now, are you as good in your store when a couple comes in? And look how much fun they have telling other people. They're marketing the idea that everybody can pick their own ring. Remember I said, what is the thing here? Experiential. People want experiences. I'm getting my engagement ring, man. That's something fantastic. I'm doing once in a life. I want to be fun. They want customer service, okay, but they want customizable. You go online, you pick the ring, you pick the diamond. There's unlimited amounts of things you can make. You can be creative. You can be unique. You can be special. You're a special girl. Here's a special ring. It's different. Jewelry stores. I'm not going to say jewelry stores are horrible, but I don't know if they're great. I don't know if they're new. I don't know if they attract people. Why shouldn't kids love this stuff? So we're talking about strategy. First of all, customer centricity. I'm not even thinking about the diamond. I don't even care about the diamond here. I care about the customer experience, right? And segmentation, remember the arrow, you know? Who are you selling? These gals are called James Allen. They're selling engagement rings to American millennials. People getting married 30 to 35. They can spend $5,000, $10,000. They know who they're selling. They know what they like. They know how they want to experience the internet. See that on the iPhone they were doing the stuff? Okay? That's where you got to go. Now, you're lucky you're in Korea, so you're maybe a few years behind the trends in the United States. Or maybe not. Last night, I went to this great thingy. You know, they were dancing and they were doing stuff. You know, pretty cool country here. I think it's in the south, not the north. We're in the north now, right? It was South Seoul or something. Okay. But in anyways, it was cool. So products, segment your customers' ideas. You know, communication channels. How are you talking to your customers? Are you using Instagram? Why should you be in business if you're not using Instagram? Come on, get with it. Wake up. All right? So, you know, people are now starting in Korea to use Instagram a little more now. But a lot of young women, it's all about Instagram. They're buying clothing, pocketbooks. So, you know, if you got a nice store, that's cute and that's expensive. But if you don't have Instagram, forget about it. Now, the argument goes to multi-channel marketing and distribution. You got to play with the Instagram, play with the Facebook, play with the internet, play with the mobile, and also maybe play with the store, play with the products, play with the happy dancing groups and all that stuff. So it's this kind of whole environment that people are subject to. But the most important thing, my friend, is the clicks. Clicks and bricks. If you don't have clicks, you ain't going to make it with the bricks. It's just the world has changed. You know, get over it. Move your butt. Go where the action is, okay? All right, so I'll just give you a little bit of an idea of what we're doing about things, but really, I don't have time for this much. But RapNet 3.0, if there's any RapNet people out there, we're going to security. We're freaked out about all the cheating and all the thieving that's going on. We're moving to jewelry. RapNet's going to be jewelry. We're going to be offering jewelry in RapNet. Big change for us. And we'll be doing bid-ask prices, so you won't just see asking prices, you'll see bids. You'll see at what price people want to buy diamonds, you know. We're doing auctions, a lot of recycled diamonds, big amounts, 500,000 carats a year. We're going to increase that to 1 million carats a year. We're just going to auction them off and stuff, and if people want to buy stuff cheap, that's the way. And then we're doing this big thing which I'm going to talk about now called source certification. Where are your diamonds coming from? Maybe your kids will ask you one day. They'll say, you were in the diamond business, they were killing people in the Congo, they were doing all kinds of stuff. Where did your diamonds come from, Daddy? What are you going to tell your kids? You didn't care? So this source certification we're going to talk about, and we're going to put Green Star diamonds in RapNet, which means we're going to separate the market for diamonds that we know where they came from, diamonds that we don't know. And now I'll take you in a little bit of a discussion about that. Source certification, adding value. Remember I talked about adding value? Adding value through source certification. That is one of the new religions happening in the diamond industry. I'm a little early on this. Maybe people say, nah, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it matters just to be a decent human being yourself. Fair trade diamonds and jewelry. Well, fair trade's a funny word, but let's say known diamonds and jewelry. Is a diamond or diamond jewelry worth more money if it makes the world a better place? Can you sell that idea? Can you tell your customer, this diamond made the world a better place? Therefore, it's worth more. Therefore, I'm selling it more. Can you make more money for fair trade coffee, chocolate, fair trade anything, bananas? They exist. How about fish? They have the fisheries thing, timber. They can tell you bought now a table or you bought something and this wood did not come from a rainforest. All of these social responsibility ideas are really important. Environmentalism and everything else. This is the new generational view. So what about diamonds? So what we're doing is we're doing sourcing initiatives. We'll show you a video in a minute. But we're going to, by the way, we're going on a trip. Rapaport Group is going on a trip, taking people. I'll be in Sierra Leone in a few weeks to set it up. But also to Surat, India, if you want to get to know your suppliers. Hang out with them. Drink some, well, they don't drink beer in Surat. There's no alcohol. But just hang out with them. You want to meet people in Africa? We can get you there. We're organizing trips so that we believe that jewelers And not just jewelers. You know, the funny thing about jewelers is jewelers don't usually buy anything. They want everything on memo. So it's the jewelers and their suppliers going to places in Africa or going to places and seeing, what is this diamond business about? You know, what's really, really going on? So Rapaport's organizing some tours there. Now, to give you an idea of what's happening, I will show you another 4-minute video. Hopefully it'll work. And I think you're going to find this one pretty interesting.
This is Sierra Leone, West Africa. Sierra Leone, Connaught District.
I'm going to do the thing my wife told me last time. I'll give you a little background. We, Rapaport Group was in Sierra Leone during the war. I was in the amputee camps. The United States State Department sent me to negotiate with terrorists. It was crazy. But I saw dead bodies. Very shocking, freaked me out. I saw the amputee camp with thousands of people missing limbs. And I said, I'm going to make sure that this doesn't happen anymore as best as I can. And so there's the Kimberley process, which is a greenwashing, but whatever. So I have a relationship with Sierra Leone for a while. And then 5 diggers, the poorest people in the world, $1 a day they're living on, not enough food to eat, no water, no electricity, no school, no medical. These guys find a 709-carat diamond. Big, 14th biggest diamond in the world. And they find this diamond, and normally they would try to sell it to some smuggler who would give them instant cash. These guys are hungry, you know. But they said, no, we're going to deliver this diamond to the president of Sierra Leone. They got in a Jeep and they gave him the diamond. Now, in the old days, the president would just take the diamond. Thank you, bye-bye. But this president said, no, we're going to be transparent. And we're going to sell it. And they called me. And I said, you know what? I'll sell the diamond for free as long as the money goes to the government and the money goes to the diggers. And the big idea is that if the diggers get water and electricity, the government agreed 40% of the money tax-free to the diggers, 60% of the money was going to go to the government, of which 25%, which is 15% of the diamond, is going to go to the village where it was found. Water, electricity. And in fact, I'm going to Sierra Leone in a few weeks with my wife to go to visit the village and see, do they have water? What's going on there? So now this is the story about this diamond and how I sent my son to go down to Sierra Leone to check where was the diamond found. And he did this video. And the story is about the idea that if more people give the diamond to the government will spend more money creating water and electricity. So when the village gets water and electricity, the next time someone finds a diamond, they'll give it to the government again. So we're trying to create a cycle of benefit to the villagers because it'll generate tax revenue, with the hope that the government doesn't steal the money, which I don't think they will. The other side of this coin is people like you who can sell diamonds for a higher price because of the story that the diamond has. Remember, we're not selling diamonds, we're selling stories that this diamond makes the world a better place, okay? So now you can have that background. I'll play the video for you so you can actually, whoa, I better punch this up or down or, there we go. Okay, I'll hit this again.
This is Sierra Leone, West Africa. Sierra Leone, Connaught District, West Africa. Not East Africa, not South Africa, not North Africa. Sierra Leone, West Africa, Sierra Leone.
With a population of 7.4 million people, Sierra Leone borders Guinea to the north and east, and Liberia to the southeast. Sierra Leone's life expectancy is rated at 50 years, one of the lowest in the world. With a gross domestic product of $4 billion, an estimated 70% of the population live under $2 a day. Sierra Leone is ranked one of the poorest countries in the world. Sierra Leone is a diamond-rich country. In 2015, 420,000 carats of diamond were exported from Sierra Leone, valued at $150 million US. But where's that money going? Apparently, very little of the money is benefiting the communities these diamonds come from. Sierra Leone is a country of optimism, hope, and opportunity. With 60% of Sierra Leone's youth unemployed, One can't help but wonder what potential Sierra Leone can offer the world if only conditions improve. On March 16, 2017, a 709-carat diamond was reportedly found in Sierra Leone. Immediately, the world showed interest, and with it the question, is the diamond found a fair trade diamond?
Because most of us, we are digging the diamond, but we don't know the details about the value of it, the type of diamond minerals that came out of this ground. This should have not been the condition of our country today. And some of them, we just hear about them going up and down, exporting and importing. But what we are expecting them, only and solely that they should bring development in this country.
We set out to Koyadu village to look for the pastor where the diamond was reportedly found.
It all started in the days of our fathers. Diamonds were found during that period, like 80 carat, 90 carat, but we make no profit from them. It's like those diamonds were not taken the right way or taken to the government. That's why we gain nothing from it as a village. But for this present one, when we found this diamond, we told our supporters that we need to go straight to the government so that we'll be able to gain something profitable from it. First of all, we don't have school.
And most times when the rain comes, it splashes on the children in the class. We run away. So how can you run a village school wherein there is nothing to eat?
And 2, no hospital. 3, we have poor road network. And 4, no chance for our children to be educated. He said by the grace of God, He will help us. So we are looking to the help of God.
The past diamonds, whether it was taken to the government or not, we don't know. And nothing was done for this village. We are left with nothing but just the name.
After hearing from the villagers about life in Koyadu, we went to visit the site where the 709-carat diamond was found, located in the forest a few kilometers from the village.
This is the place where the diamond was found by Pastor Momo.
We start 5 o'clock. We move from the bed. We come to the working place. We mine with shovels. We don't have machine that can help us. We do physical challenges.
I was seated over there on top of that stick. On top of that stick, they pulled the gravel. Chief was also pulling the gravel. They saw the diamond. The children rushed and took the diamond and gave it to Chief. Chief gave it to me and I put it in my pocket. And we gave it to our pastor.
I have never seen such type of diamond before. We were doing this job without any food. We only eat beans.
Visiting Koyadu village and learning how difficult life is in Sierra Leone made me realize just how much this diamond can help these people.
And when we came to the Director General's office one morning, and he told us Rapaport has expressed interest, we were all excited because we know what Rapaport stands for. We know the role that Rapaport played in Sierra Leone after the Civil War to transform the image of our diamonds from blood diamonds to peace diamonds.
No good road, no water supply, no electricity. What to eat is absent. The diamond can bring us light here. So if whosoever buy the diamond, let him come with light in exchange. Barter system, we are no more slaves. Africa, we are no more slaves. Yes!
I am Pastor Emmanuel Momo. I'm a diamond digger from Sierra Leone, Conodi Seeds. Please buy our natural diamond.
Now, these people are as much a part of the diamond industry as you are. They're just like us, but they're treated like crap. And they're abused. Now, these are good guys. In the Congo today, people are getting killed. But we buy those dead diamonds. We buy them. We don't think about it. So I'm trying to change the world, do something, make the world a better place. And I want to do it and make money while we're doing it, because I think that the idea is to add value to diamonds. And I believe that diamonds that come from known sources or that help poor people are better, more beautiful diamonds. I call it spiritual sparkle. And that's a mission that I have, to do something, to make money, to add value. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm doing it. And that's the idea here. So the supply chain certification, by the way, is one thing that we do. It's not only diamonds from Africa. It's knowing where your diamonds come from. I think everybody has a moral and ethical obligation to know where their diamonds come from and to ask the question, is my diamond a kosher diamond? Is my diamond coming from a legitimate place? And you people who buy diamonds should ask that question of your suppliers. Okay. Now, supply chain certification is important for many reasons. First of all, it's ethical. And not only that, your neighbor's going to say, I got fair trade diamonds, I got diamonds that are source supplier certified, and you don't, is you're going to be at a competitive disadvantage. But it stops socially conscious consumers. Remember the arrow? How about the arrow and socially responsible? Maybe one or two people out here in Korea say, I'm going to sell socially responsible diamonds. Make myself different. You can go on the internet and you can see that there are companies that actually do this. Corporate responsibility for your brand. If you have a brand like Tiffany, you can't buy diamonds off the market anymore because you don't know where they come from. Because if you're found to buy a bad diamond, your whole brand gets smattered. In the case of Nike, they were making sneakers in Vietnam with children. Their share price, and this is in 1994 or something, their share price went down 50%. Their sales went down. So we are living in a world where you have brands, and I believe brands are going to be very important for the jewelry industry. So you've got to protect your brand, because if you have a brand, you can get attacked for selling unethical products. Government regulators, law enforcement, banks want to know what you're doing. And one of the ways to know that you're not dealing in synthetics is by knowing where the hell your diamonds come from. So this whole idea that you have a relationship with your supplier and you make sure you know where your diamonds come from is an important part of the future of the diamond industry. That's one of my ideas here. So let's conclude. Value strategy. Most people think that profit is equal to revenue minus cost. But then they're not making revenue. They say, I'm not making money. I'm not selling enough. So what do? Well, guess what? Profit is value, added value minus cost. If you're really adding value, don't worry. Revenue will take care of itself. If you're not adding value, who the hell needs you? Go into real estate. Go into another business. Here's an idea as well. Price is willingness to pay. If you add value, it's total value creation. Now notice, you got something called value creation, and you got something called value capture. They're different. Value creation means you go out there and you create value. Say you do fair trade diamonds. Say you do good design. Say you do good internet selling. Say you do Instagram marketing, or whatever the hell you're going to do. It doesn't matter. But you need to create value. If you're not creating value, you don't have any right to be in business. And just having a store, not enough anymore, okay? Just having a product, not enough anymore. You got to have customers. But if you have value creation for your customers, that's important. Now, once you have value creation, which is this whole thing, part of it goes to your cost. The cost of your diamonds, the cost of your employees, the cost of your internet, the cost of whatever the heck you're doing. Then you got this extra part above cost. Some of that is what you capture as your business. Profit. Good stuff. And some of it is what you leave over for the other people, for the customer. And it's not just money and price here. What you're leaving over for the customer could be a good feeling. Could be you arrange their engagement party. Could be, I don't know what you're going to give your customer to make them happy. But think about beyond money, because customers, they got money. They know what to do with their money. But if you can give them some experience. You know, I know one woman, Sissy's Log Cabin. She arranges surprise engagements for guys. Guys go to her and they say, I want to get engaged. I don't know what to do. She says, well, why don't you take them up in a hot air balloon? Why don't you do something special? And she actually arranges events for guys. You know, guys, they're not always so smart. And the girls love it, and the guys love it, you know. I don't know. We're talking to people who arrange surprise engagements. I don't know what they do. So think about what you can do to get your value to your customer. And this isn't money, cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. This is giving something to the customer or even the community. I don't know. And it's not just giving charity. It's actually creating value to the customer. So if you understand this, that's really the strategy to use. That's how you can have a successful business, even in a world of great disruption, because these are truths here. Let me see. These are truths. This is truth. This is serious stuff. If you think this way, you got a shot. You got a chance. So, concluding, exponential change, not just normal change, jumping change. Instagram, boom. Not just Facebook, not just a store, not just a thing, okay? Challenges and opportunities, and every challenge is an opportunity. You got to turn it on its head. Supply side, rough prices and profit squeeze, not your fault. You can't control it, but it's a reality. Demand side, volatile, globalized economy. Again, learn how to dance, learn how to surf, recognize what's going on. Internal issues, really you can break it down to technology and demographics. Technology could be synthetic diamonds, technology could be internet selling, technology could be Instagram, whatever it is. It's technology coming along and kicking you in the butt and saying you got to change. And of course, demographics. Who are your customers? They're not the same people. Just because your daddy had a store doesn't mean you're going to succeed. You're selling a whole different animal. And then, so what do you need to succeed? Create value for your customers. Hold it. Create value for your customers. Oh, one more time. Create value for your customers, baby. That's the whole Torah. That's the whole story. Embrace and surf the waves of change. When change is coming, think, how can I use that? How can I leverage that to create more value for my customers? Turn your challenges into opportunities. Be strong. You're not weak. You got a great business. People want to get engaged. People want to buy jewelry. Okay? Don't be afraid. Be brave. Get out there. Do things that are different. Go out of the box. Don't be like everybody else, maybe. And make the world a better place. Make your customers happier. This is such a good business. People are in love. People want to express their emotions. You're the key. You're the one that helps them do that. You're helping people be in love. What could be a nicer business? So make the world a better place. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this. All right. And now for the questions. I'll put on my little thingy here. And don't be afraid. You can ask anything you want. I'm not afraid. Okay? Go ahead.
네, 여기 벌써 질문이 있는데요.
Okay, I've been
예.
sitting around. I'm going to sit over here if it's okay.
예, 좀 편안한
Hold on, I
분위기에서
gotta
좀
put this on,
자연스럽게 진행을 하도록 하겠습니다.
저는 그 한미보석감정원의 김영출입니다. 아마 한국을 두 번째 방문한 걸로 알고 있는데요. 오늘 굉장히 환영하면서 감사드립니다. 특별히 오늘 주제 발표에 많은 그 우리 업계분들이 어떤 사고의 전환의 기회가 되지 않았을까 생각이 들어갑니다. 제 질문을 하도록 하겠습니다. 아까 이제 말씀 끝에 아무거나 괜찮다고 말씀하셨기 때문에 큰 주제로 말씀드리겠습니다. 그 형광성 다이아몬드에 대해서 질문을 드리도록 하겠습니다. 1993년도 25년 전에 그 라파포트 가격에 그 형광성 다이아몬드에 대한 가격 가이드라인이 처음 생겨된 것이 그 배경에 대해서 좀 말씀해 주시고, 저는 두 번째는 2015년도 4월 달부터 이 칼라 등급이 낮은 것은 그 형광성이었을 때 할인율이 이렇게 많이 떨어지지는 않았는데 그 3년 전부터는 굉장히 좀 낮아지는 경향이 게시되어 있습니다. 그 이유가 뭔지 답변을 부탁드리겠습니다.
Sure. You guys can see me. This is good, right? I can sit, right? No problem? Okay. Fluorescence is an interesting animal. And Korea was a very big problem with fluorescence because fluorescence makes the diamond look whiter in the laboratory. So you had here, again, it was Mr. Shin, Mr. Ho, you had all these Korean grading reports. And what the Korean grading reports did was they gave higher colors to diamonds with fluorescence than the same kind of diamond without. In other words, fluorescence sort of tricked the graders into giving higher colors. So if a stone was a G or an H, they would give it an F. Now, the idea of fluorescence in and of itself, it gives you a little bit of a different understanding of the diamond. Now, in some rare cases, that's so rare, in some cases for the higher colors, D, E, F, Fluorescent might give you a milkiness in the stone, which makes the stone less bright. But that's only in certain instances. But another thing happened at the same time. So not only was Korea overgrading the fluorescent diamonds, people were paying higher prices for diamonds with fluorescence. When people wanted to resell the diamonds, they were getting killed. So it was like there was a phony Korean price for fluorescent diamonds that was higher than the prices in the rest of the world. At the same time, or a little bit short before that, the Russians started to dump diamonds. Now, Russia was a major producer of diamonds, and I think it was the early 90s, they decided they needed money, and they just sold a lot of diamonds. And a very large percentage of the Russian diamonds were fluorescent. And what people did was they said, hey, you know, supply and demand, you know, these fluorescent diamonds are flooding the market, so non-fluorescent diamonds are worth more. Just like the reason Ds, there's less Ds than Es or Fs, so it's more scarce, it's worth more money. So the market differentiated between fluorescent diamonds and non-fluorescent diamonds to protect the supply because they had these non-fluorescent diamonds, and all of a sudden there was this dumping. Now, Korea was in a strange position because as the price of fluorescent diamonds were down in the world, the price was up in the other markets. So the world price was pushing down fluorescence, and Korea was pushing it up. And we announced this, and we made everybody aware of it, and we were very much people who didn't like our transparency. But the truth of the matter is that fluorescent diamonds are worth less because they are not as scarce as non-fluorescent diamonds. That's in the higher colors. But when you get to a J, K, L colored diamond, and you look at it, it really makes the diamond look better. So in markets like Indonesia, for example, or even Singapore, when you get lower colors, fluorescent is not seen as something bad, it's seen as something good. So when you talk about fluorescence, it's not a simple one-size-fits-all situation. Certain diamonds are worth less if they have fluorescence, a lot less. Ds, Es, Fs, VVSs, fluorescent, bang, kills the diamond. Unbelievable. And by the way, you should buy them. In other words, if you have customers, and the customer says, and I'll tell you something about fluorescence in a minute, but first of all, higher colors, the market price for diamonds with fluorescence, significantly lower. Lower colors, very marginal. Sometimes people even like them. Now, you go to Blue Nile. Blue Nile is the largest seller of diamonds over the internet in the United States. They sell about $500 million a year. Now, when you look at Blue Nile, the prices look great. Unbelievable. And the jeweler says, how am I going to compete with Blue Nile? The Blue Nile is charging 30 below, 25 below. How am I as a jeweler going to compete? And it's a big problem for all the jewelers because they have labor, they have different costs, stores and everything. But if you look at the Blue Nile diamonds, and you can go, guys, go to BlueNile.com, you'll see a lot of the diamonds are fluorescence. So it became like a way in which to compete to offer diamonds at a lower price. And the consumer may not care. So, you know, if you're a merchandiser or you're someone doing something, you might like the idea of fluorescence because it's all about value and it's all about taking care of the customer. The other thing you should be aware of, that if you're doing a layout, say Mel, you're putting together a layout, the fluorescent diamonds will look a little different than the non-fluorescent stones. So you don't want to mix them up too much. So if you were to make a necklace all fluorescent, good idea. You go to the discotheque, it's going to look great. And you shouldn't be afraid of fluorescence. It's all about value for your customer. So the fluorescent problem is there, but what the hell? You know, you don't only sell D-flawless diamonds, you sell HSIs, you sell I2s, you sell, I don't know, whatever you want to sell. So you should have a big picture view. There are reasons why diamonds are going to be worth different values. People go crazy if the table is 64. People go, you know, the market is very weird. A good example are SIs. My God. I see, you know, I love GIA, and I thank GIA. You know, I never thanked you, Sung-Hei, and I never thanked the GIA team here. Thank you very much for organizing this thing. You know, you should give her applause. You know, so, you know, they really got me to come. I wasn't going to come here. Sung-Hei made me crazy, and she got me to come. And I thank the jewelry organization here who did this beautiful haul. So I want to thank all the people who put this together. Having said that, I don't know if GI knows what an SI is. Okay? Eye clean is important. Once upon a time, in the days of crashes and Kronenshield, okay, an SI was an eye clean diamond. You looked at it, you didn't see anything. Today, you look at it, you go, oh my God, what is that? So, you know, you look at the SIs and they're black. So the diamond industry differentiates diamonds based on what the consumer sees. The gemologist is looking with his binocular microscope, and his perception of the diamond is completely different than the perception of the consumer or the jeweler looking at a diamond. You guys need to sell the customer. If the diamond looks great, so SI, you look at what the good is. If it's got a big black imperfection you can see from 3 miles away, I don't care if GI calls it an SI1 or not. So you have to have your opinion about the diamond, your view about what's beautiful. Use the grading reports. But the grading reports are not God. You're God if you're taking care of your customer. So if fluorescence is a game, play it. If SI is a game, you know, eye clean is a game, you know, just think, transcend the grading report, transcend the diamond, think about what you can do to make your customer happy. And I wouldn't be afraid of fluorescence. I tell the customer, listen, this is fluorescent, less expensive, good deal, lovely stone, you'll enjoy it in the discotheque. You know, don't be afraid, just be honest. You follow what I'm saying? If you don't know what to do, whenever you don't know what to do, just be transparent. Tell the truth. Push it to the customer. The customer will love you for telling them. Okay? So don't be afraid of fluorescent, and make sure you know what eye clean means.
두 번째 질문이 좀 정확히 이해가 못 되신 것 같은데요. 그러니까는 그 하이 그레이드는 그따선 치더던데 I 칼라에서 M 칼라가 2015년 3월 달까지는 0에서 플러스 2%였던 것이 4월 달부터 이 미디움 칼라부터 베리 스트롱까지가 I에서 M 칼라가 마이너스 13%, 20%로 바뀌었습니다. 그 바뀌게 된 배경에 대해서 여쭙는 겁니다. 그러니까 15% 이상 내지면 20% 이상이 더 다운됐다는 얘기가 되는 것이죠. 그런 어떤 이유가 있는 것인지 아니면 선호도가 떨어진 것인지.
I guess it's because sometimes the market is stupid. In other words, we follow the market prices. And people in the market, they go nuts. I mean, look at the price of Tesla, okay? They go nuts. And we have to grow. We say, listen, the bottom line for us is at what price can we put a diamond on the table? And if the market says we're going to give a big discount because of fluorescent, because we became fluorescent maniacs, all right, that's what we do. So we don't control the market. My view is, if it's 13% less, if you can buy a fluorescent diamond at 13% less, buy it. Sell it. Deal in it. Put a big sign up. We're the best sellers of fluorescent diamonds in the world because they're the greatest value. You know, I was listening to this lecture at Harvard last week, and we were talking about the guy in the watch business. You know, the watch business went all to quartz. And then this one guy, I forgot his name, somebody here must know, the watch guy in Switzerland who became the leader of the mechanical artistic watch movement. Anybody know his name here? Well, yeah, what's the name? John, I have all these earphones on me. John, what? Bivet. Bivet, amazing guy. He was attacked. Where's going to make, you know, quartz and quartz and quartz? And he said, no. A mechanical watch is a work of art. So Bivet was speaking on this video. And Bivet said, only a dead fish goes with the current. Only a dead fish. So if the market is stupid, the hell with the market. Go your own way. And I'm thinking very much about this when we talk about synthetics. Because, you know, the story about synthetics is very similar to the story about quartz watches. Okay? We take a diamond, some of the most expensive material known to man, even more expensive than, I don't know, cocaine. And we cut it. We slice it. We sculpt it. We microsculpt the most expensive material in God's world. Wow! If that's not art, what is? But yet we're thinking about all these other things. So I'm saying to you, you need a Bouvet in the diamond industry. You need to think like Bouvet, and you need to tell the market, I'm going to make money on these things, and then maybe fluorescent diamonds will become worth more than regular ones. But it's up to you, not some crazy dealers and all this stuff. You need to find your customer, and you need to give them good value. And if the LM colors, I have to quote the market price. I can't make decisions about what's pretty and what's good. I have to say to you, my guys, this is available. Now, if I'll look into fluorescence now that you brought it up. But if you see a market and a product that is not priced correctly, buy it, sell it, make a market in it, okay? Like the stock market. You see a stock that you know is a good company and the price is too low, you can become Warren Buffett. Buy it. So look for value and don't be afraid of fluorescence, okay? And what we're doing is we're like a mirror. We're trying to be a good mirror. You know, we're not always perfect. And we're reflecting the markets. If the market's doing things for fluorescence they shouldn't, buy it. Don't be afraid to swim against the current. Don't be a dead fish.
예, 가운데 세 번째 줄로. 네.
Hello, I'm Indiana Jones. You call me Indiana. 저 여기 그 마틴 라파포르트 회장님이 저한테 제가 전 세계로 다이아몬드를 찾으러 다닌다 했더니 인디애나 존스라고 별명을 지어주셨습니다 오늘. 그래서 제가 오늘 하고 싶은 질문은 딱 한 가지인데요. 아주 그냥 원론적이고 아주 그냥 간단한 질문인데 좀 빅 퀘스천입니다. 그냥 빅 퀘스천. 근데 뭐냐면은 제가 12년 정도 이제 다이아몬드를 제가 직접 사업을 하고 있고 그 전부터 이 인더스트리에 계속 있었는데 사람들의 트렌드가 점점 변해가면서 이제는 더 이상은 다이아몬드 링을 이렇게 끼는 것이 더 이상 이렇게 팬시하지가 않은 그런 우리가 시대를 살고 있어요. 더 많은 밸류와 더 많은 그런 가치들이 창조가 되고 있고 항상 모든 것들이 새로운 것들이 나타나면서 다이아몬드가 과연 영원할까 이런 제가 생각을 갖고 있는데 그거를 한번 묻고 싶습니다. 딱 한 가지 질문입니다. 다이아몬드 가격이 향후 10년간 오를 것 같습니까? 이거를 한번 묻고 싶습니다.
Yeah, I do. I think not only that it can go up, I think it will go up. You know, we're now in an economic world with tremendous amount of change and uncertainty. We're in a world where the demand of diamonds has been neglected. You know, one of the greatest things about synthetic diamonds is that it's forcing the natural diamond industry to reinvest in generic diamonds. So this kind of idea that we need to market diamonds and tell young people diamonds are great, diamonds are cool, you know, it's waking up now. The Diamond Producers Association, they spent $120 million. They used to spend $200 million. I believe that we are going to see, like I said, between now and 2030, 1 billion new diamond consumers. I believe China will buy diamonds. Not only that, the fiasco that China has with their one-child policy has resulted in an imbalance between men and women. And women are very, very smart. And if you want a woman in China, show me. Show me the diamond. Show me that you love me. Show me the specialness. So, you know, you can buy flowers for a woman, and that may get you so far. But when you buy an expensive diamond, you see, you got to understand what's underlying demand. It sounds weird, and I don't want to be sexist, because, you know, there's also gays. But the girl wants the guy to feel financial pain. She wants the guy to know that if you want to marry me, I expect you to spend money on something that has no utility. It's not a refrigerator. You're never going to use it or wear it. It's something only for her. And she will look at it for a few minutes every day and think about the guy. That's what research tells us. So we were really selling here, like I said, transcend the product. So now, will this cause more demand for diamonds? Unless we as an industry are incredibly unethical and stupid, I believe the diamond will be fine. Diamond will be forever. Diamond will be strong. Because the need to give a gift, between the man and the woman comes before diamonds. In Japan, they were giving pearls. In China, they were giving jade. In Botswana, they're giving cows. Okay? The idea that you're giving someone a gift which is a symbol of commitment, of relationship, something that is of value, is fundamental to the human condition. That's not going away. Now, will it be a diamond, or will you give her a pocketbook, or you'll give her an iPhone? I don't think so. So I believe diamonds will be good, diamonds will be strong. Now, they've gone down 50% in the last 10 years or 8 years. But that's because the world is in a weird place. So I think diamonds will be fine. I'm not guaranteeing they'll go up, and I don't know if they're a proper investment.
Price.
Yeah, what he's saying is, look, what you're saying what people have to do, interesting. I live in a world what people actually do. There's a lot of reasons why rough is too high. Maybe it's because the banks in certain countries are oversupplying money. Maybe it's because people are bribing ministers. Lots of reasons. But what I think is that you just wait, you have a business, you take care of your customer. Now, whether or not the rough people make money or lose money, the hell with them. If suppliers come to you crying, I'm not making money, tell them to go to hell. You take care of your customer, and you literally piss on everybody else. Focus on your customer, focus on your added value, and don't care about the big diamond business. Now, diamonds are different, natural diamonds than synthetic diamonds, because natural diamonds will retain their value. All I can say is, for the past 500 years, they've retained their value. Do you think that's going to go away? I don't think so. I see the prices reached at auction for exceptional diamonds. $50 million? $20 million? And when you think about the value of diamonds, you can think about the value of money. Because diamonds don't have to go up. The dollar just has to go down, or the value of money has to go up. So inflation. So I can say to you, look, I'm not a prophet that I can foresee anything. But my personal view is that diamonds are not going to go down too much more. I think they will go up, but it's going to be a shock coming from the financial system. I think interest rates are going to go up. And I think when interest rates go up, it's going to create turbulence. I think there's going to be a new relationship between the United States and India regarding trade. I think the United States is going to be more prosperous. Stock markets will continue to go up. So we're in a world of changing values, and I think diamonds will be okay. Look, as long as there's, I'll tell you this one, okay? I was in 1982, a little off color, but I met the president of the United States Retail Jewelers Association. And he was a very tall guy, you know. He looked down at me. He said, "What's wrong, Rapaport?" And this is 1982 when diamonds are crashing. And I'm like, oh my God, diamonds. He says, Rapaport, he says, don't worry about diamonds. I said, what do you mean? He says, as long as we have 3 things, diamonds are going to be fine. I said, what are the 3 things? First of all, he said, as long as there's Christmas. Second of all, he said, as long as there's sex. And then the third thing he said is as long as there's guilt. So I said, what's the most important? He said guilt. But this is 1982, and the market's crashing. So, you know, diamonds are pretty good. And by the way, if you have any diamonds and you're worried, you want to throw them away, throw them in my direction. All right, more questions. Okay.
네, 네. 마이크 지금 뒤에 준비된 일정이 있어가지고 많은 질문을 받기는 좀 어렵고 마지막으로 1개, 2개 질문만 더 받고 질문을 되도록이면 짧게 그리고 중요한 부분들만 그리고 답변도 라파포르 회장님 짧게 좀 부탁드리겠습니다. 네, 딱 2분만 더 받도록 하겠습니다. 그러면 먼저 뒤에 먼저. 예.
Who's the boss here?
네, 마테인 회장님 말씀 잘 들었고요. 지하의 얼룸나이 코리아 오상필이라고 합니다. 지금 한국에서는 합성 다이아몬드가 가장 핫한데요. 합성 다이아몬드가 천연 다이아몬드에 어떤 영향을 끼칠지에 대해서 말씀 좀 부탁드리겠습니다.
Well, I think the problem with synthetic diamonds is while they're exactly the same physically, they're missing one key component, which is scarcity. In other words, if you really want to understand this, the people who are creating synthetic diamonds are not in the jewelry industry. They work for the United States Department of Defense. for the Chinese Department of Defense and for the Russians. What they're doing is they're creating synthetic diamonds that take advantage of the unique molecular structure of carbon, and they're creating what they call qubit computers, or qubit chips. And what they're trying to do is create a chip for a computer which works at the atomic level. What I'm saying to you is like a 10-carat, perfect diamond with the lattice exactly correct will have more memory than all the computers in the world today, if you can imagine such a thing. And with the unique physical properties of diamond, that is possible. So these guys are running to make something for defense, maybe a little bit also for laser systems. And in the side product, are these guys trying to sell these synthetic diamonds. The price of these diamonds are going to plummet, just like they did for synthetic emeralds, because you'll go on Alibaba and you'll see diamonds and you'll see perfect diamonds and synthetic diamonds for, I don't know. Today they're asking, they say, oh, I'll sell you a 3-carat diamond and it has to cost $30,000. I'll give it to you for $25,000. It's a scam, because in 10 years that same diamond may be worth $250. So the diamonds, the synthetic diamonds, do not have the ability to hold water, to hold value. Now, if you're talking about Melly, great. You have Swarovski, and now De Beers put it in their brain. They're going to compete with Swarovski. Good luck. It's another product. So if they say we have diamonds at $800 a carat synthetics, which is what they say, and they're going to try to sell all this Melly, fine, let them go ahead and do it. But it's another product. Authenticity is what we're selling here. The real thing. As soon as you start saying, I can sell you this, so go sell cubic zirconia. A lot of people sell cubic. I was at a counter today in the latte store, and there was one counter like there for synthetic, and you went around the corner. There's another counter of natural diamonds. So, I think that the biggest business for non-natural diamonds is probably Swarovski, although they're also doing synthetics, and they're going to do cheap stuff. So, it's going to go down in value. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'd be afraid, if you sell it, be transparent. And you should tell your customer, these things don't hold value. Because every instance that I've looked at with synthetic rubies or emeralds, and the price always came down. Synthetic emeralds used to be $350 a carat. Now they're what, $5, $7 a carat. So I think they're going to become so cheap, they won't be the same thing. But, the challenge for De Beers going into this business is opportunistic. And they just want the opportunity to make some more money. And remember this, companies do not have a heart, do not have a soul. Companies just want to make money. And so you can't think of your company as being someone who's going to protect the industry. It's just not true. There's no Mickey Mouse. When you go to Disneyland, there's no real Mickey Mouse. There's some guy in a costume, okay? There's no Santa Claus. Companies act like they're Mickey Mouse. They act like they're your favorite friend. But actually, they just want to make money. So when I see what's going on with synthetics, for example, in the light box, I say it's a good product. If someone wants to buy it, it looks pretty, it looks nice, but it's not the diamond business. It's another business.
마지막으로 질문 하나 더 받도록 하겠습니다. 네.
So I was going to ask you the same question about the synthetic, not synthetic, the lab-grown diamond. And apparently, I don't think you're very positive about the outlook of the synthetic or lab-grown diamond. I thought the outlook is very promising since the recent entry of De Beers has proven. But what's your take on the growth of lab-grown diamond in the future, like let's say in 10 years or 20 years?
Again, it's the same question pretty much. The synthetic diamonds are another product. Cubic zirconia is a product. Moissanite is a product. And they're not natural diamonds. Now, the fact that you get real close to somebody doesn't mean you're the same thing. Let's say you have lithographs of paintings. And I can go and I can make a Mona Lisa. Exact same ink, exact same parchment, exact same strokes, because I have a supercomputer. Okay? Is that going to be the same thing and the same value? Let's say I use the computer systems of today with artificial intelligence, and I create another personality that's just like you, really like you. Same taste, same ideas. I watch everything that you do, from how you drive your car because I have a Google car, and how you shop and what you do. And I created an artificial version of you. And I put it in some sexy robot. And it's going to happen in the next 20 years probably. Is that you? Is that the same thing? So the question is going to be, what is authenticity? And what is the value of authenticity in a world that is rapidly changing with artificial intelligence, with virtual people, virtual personalities? And I'm saying to you that my understanding is the real thing will always be something of more value, okay? And so you're going to have to question if we can detect it. As long as you can tell the difference between an authentic piece of art, and like I said to you, a sculpted diamond is a work of art. And you could say, well, it's the same art on a synthetic maybe, but it's not the same material. It's like,
you don't define lab-grown diamond as a rare diamond, even though the chemical is exactly the same.
right, because it's the sourcing. Imagine that you were able to buy the watch of James Bond. And the exact same watch. The whole idea of provenance, putting a value on something, is fundamental to the value of things because of the history, because of the story. So if I have a watch that James Bond actually wore, or the King of England wore or something, here, take a look when they sold Elizabeth Taylor's jewelry. I could create the same thing, but it's the real. And understand also the idea of what you're trying to sell. You're selling something passionate that's real. And if you just sell everything plastic, everything fake, it just doesn't have the same grab. Now, it could be someone fake is going to say, oh, I can sell you this, and it's going to be great, and you can do all that stuff. But I think that we have the obligation to figure out how to sell the passionate thing. Think back to the watch guy who made the argument that this is a mechanical watch. It's not a quartz watch, and it's worth a lot more. Think about how they dealt with the whole Swiss industry, the whole Swatch thing. How do they deal with the idea that synthetic or quartz watches were not the same? And remember that Swatch, which was in that business, ended up buying Harry Winston. So it's up to us to differentiate those products. It's up to us to find the customer that really cares about something being authentic. And there'll be other customers. You see, if you just chase every customer, then okay, you can sell them quartz. You can sell them CZ. But if you want to be, here's a CZ, and here's a diamond, why are they paying so much more for the diamond? You go to a store, you go out to a party, no one can tell. But why are those diamonds worth more than the CZ? You follow what I'm saying here? So it's a challenge, but it's just one of the challenges that we face. All right? Okay.
네, 정말 원자재 공급에서부터 수요와 제품, 심지어는 멀티 채널에 이르기까지 굉장히 다양한 얘기를 해주셔가지고 지치지 않으셨나 모르겠는데 정말 아직도 에너지가 남아가신 것 같아요. 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 네.